So why that kind of look for my cakes? If you haven't noticed, my cakes have a very rustic, like a naked look. Because I want it to be as natural as it is. It is the way you want to eat a cake, you know? You see the chocolate oozing out, you see that cream cheese, not in the neatest way, but it's perfectly imperfect. Just how I want it to be.
The only thing I could remember, honestly, me as a child, that has anything to do with cakes, is basically me sitting on that floor in the kitchen, just beating that butter and sugar with that wooden spoon for hours for it to be like that creamy white texture that you want in a butter cake. That was way before like KitchenAid exists. Well, KitchenAid existed, but I guess my mom wouldn't have bought it for like a 10-year-old, you know? So that's about it. That's the only thing I can remember. Other than that, I don't know. I used to bake for my dad's friends. That's why I sat down in that kitchen on the floor for hours beating that butter. So, wait, are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. How did I get interested in baking? So some people think that it's something deep, or you know, like the interest is like deep inside, but honestly it's pretty simple because growing up with 3 women in the house that's always in the kitchen, they could cook up a storm. There's always something brewing in the kitchen, something being cooked up, something being baked, and there's always something on the table for everybody. So the kitchen is probably the main area of my house where everyone just gets together, have their meals, you know. But I just chose the baking part of it because it looks prettier than normal food. And basically I can put chocolate in everything that I bake. So yeah, it just looks more attractive than savory. So the look of my cakes, let's just get into that. I feel like, you know, I never understood why people spent so much time covering the sides of the cake and making it look as, you know, as beautiful as possible. But sometimes for me, that kind of like pretty cakes, it doesn't attract me in the way that, you know, as you can see like a cake where you can see all the layers just there staring at you. I just, you know, the time that you use, like hours just to perfect the decorations on the cake, I just feel like it should be concentrated more on the cake itself, like the taste of the cake. So, yeah. What I like is people's reactions to the cakes that I make. Like whatever baked good that comes out from my oven. You know, it can be the cakes, I can make like muffins or, you know, other sort of desserts. And I love seeing people just so happy to be eating my desserts. And they're like, I just love feeding people, so yeah. I still don't know how to answer this properly. But actually it's pretty simple how the name came up. Back in the day when I was still in university, I used to be so excited to come home after a long day, and I would just sit on that couch and just watch my favorite TV series. It's called Made in Chelsea. So basically the name is just simple. It just clicked. I just took out the first word of that series and Baked in Chelsea was born. So yeah. So how I came up with the recipes is that I read a lot of recipe books. I love investing in beautiful recipe books. So I look at the pictures and then I see the ingredients, I see the recipes, and then I just try. So basically everything is a trial and error, but I will most definitely change so many things about a recipe and make it mine. Because one thing about my cakes is that they're not overly or empoweringly sweet, as I hate overly sweet cakes. So I will bake that particular cake over and over again until I'm completely satisfied with how it tastes. I can say that I am really grateful and thankful that I am able to wake up every day and love what I do. You know, it doesn't feel like work. I know it sounds cliche, but it really doesn't. So I love my cakes and I love what I do. Okay. Do I look at the camera or do I look at you?
Look at...
That's the problem, right? Why baked in Chelsea? Some people even call me Chelsea. They think that my name is Chelsea. I find myself baking even when it's not for work. So that's when you know. I would be a blogger as well. I would be a food blogger or a food photographer. They love to cook and there's always something.
And to vibrate.
Dude, I was so like...
Yeah.
That.
What was it?
It's the lock that's in baking. So some people think that... Oh gosh, this is why doing it at home is very... Yeah, Mama? Ma? Mama, listen.